Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the debate between Walz and Vance. We're going to start by reading a few messages from y'all, because I think it might be enlightening to those who didn't watch the debate. The first, why are they being so boring? The next, I watched the first hour. Did it ever get more interesting? Another, snooze fest. I literally fell asleep. Next, why are they being so nice to each other? This isn't what I expected. Then, Vance isn't nearly as repulsive as Trump. His ideas are trash and he lies about stats, but he's a Republican, so whatever. I really expected him to be more aggressive. And finally, I want to claw my eyes out of my effing head. If I hear them agree one more time, I'll turn it off. So there you go. That's the viewer review of the debate. And that's about right. It was a relatively cordial discussion and debate over policy talking points. Not exactly a policy debate, but closer to that than anything we've seen in recent years. It looks like Vance brought his A game and tried to reset Trump's campaign for him. Walz didn't get steamrolled and held his own against an opponent who was widely expected to get a substantial upper hand. It was, in fact, kind of boring. It was, in fact, relatively cordial. Debates are supposed to be like that. The reason many have a skewed view of what these events are like is due to one man, Trump. Outlandish false statements, personal attacks, denigrating various demographics of Americans and the country as a whole isn't the norm. It's weird. The reason the country is in so much turmoil is in large part due to Trump's rhetoric and inability to actually focus on the country instead of his personal grievances. There was a general consensus on a lot of issues between the candidates, though they differed sharply on women's rights, health care, the climate, and a few other things. But overall, the disagreements were friendly and what you would expect from adults. So, it didn't look like a Trump debate. It was on the last topic that everybody was reminded who Vance was really running with. Vance downplayed January 6th and refused to admit that Trump lost the 2020 election. And there you have it. Despite Vance putting on a polished front and remaining cordial, when the topic of preserving democracy came up, he walked the Trumpian line. He made it clear that he couldn't deviate from Trump even on the objective pieces of reality. This is typical of many Republicans, but it blunted the Trump campaign's preferred attack against Harris. Since Trump really doesn't commit to policy or outline it in public, instead, relying on talking points and vague concepts of a plan, they tend to go after Kamala's policies on asking why she hasn't implemented them already. In fact, it was a rhetorical question Vance used in the debate. I know many Republicans haven't read the Constitution, but she is the vice president, not the president. The vice president is supposed to be president of the Senate and break ties if necessary. Incidentally, Harris actually holds the record for most ties broken. The only other recognized duty of the VP is to tally the electoral votes. If Vance can't even publicly admit the outcome of the last election because Trump will get mad, the campaign doesn't really have a lot of room to talk about Harris's presidential policies not being implemented while she's VP. It's a good talking point for Republicans, but it just once again shows they believe their base hasn't read or doesn't understand the Constitution. So, overall, the debate was likely a wash. It will surely be played up by commentators saying their guy won, but it's unlikely that this changed any minds. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.